So we're getting to that time of the year where everybody's about to start talking about fall fishing and fall turnover and how fish react to the fall turnover and what you should be doing and what baits you should be fishing and where you should go. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and I get this question come up in the Straight Up Fishing app all the time. I don't pay the fall turnover. I don't even acknowledge that it's happening. Every lake that I have where I live has a fall turnover. I don't care where you live, fish are always gonna be on laydowns, they're always gonna be on docks, they're always gonna be on bridge ponds. Whatever the most predominant structure is where you live, there's always gonna be fish on that. I don't care what that is, if it's grass, if it's docks, it doesn't matter if the lake is turning over or not, they're still gonna bite the drop shot. It doesn't matter if the lake is turning over or not, they'll still bite a crankbait. It doesn't matter if the lake's turning over or not, they'll still bite a topwater. When you really think about it, you still got the same stuff available regardless if the lake is turning over or not. So the turnover isn't really worth your energy because you're still either going to catch fish shallow or a little bit deeper, regardless if the lake is turning over or not. When I first started fishing with a fall turnover, I would get all up in arms about it because every magazine article that you read, everything that you saw in Bassmaster magazine or every TV show, they would all tell you about the turnover, what was going on, what it did to the lake, and how it was going to basically make fishing suck for a while. But I don't acknowledge it anymore. I don't do anything different. I don't even worry about it. I do go to the lake and I know what's going on. Does it affect the fish some? I mean, maybe, kinda. But what I'm learning is that it's not really worth me spending my energy and worrying about the fall turnover. Okay, now I know we're probably a minute and a half in this video, and I know the comment section are going crazy. Well, Brian, in my lake it does this, and in that lake it definitely matters. Hold on. Y'all get so trigger happy when I say something. I'm the kind of person that I don't take what the establishment of fishing says is true and then just take it for truth. If I don't see that it matters, I don't consider it truth. And fall turnover is one of those things that I just really don't think it's not that I don't think, I have experienced that it doesn't matter in the same way. It doesn't matter in the way that people have made it seem to matter. When you watch fishing tournament results, I'm going to encourage everybody, watch your fishing tournament results, because what I like about that is you have several data points from multiple anglers on what's going on any given body of water. When you go fishing, the only information that you have when you go fishing is about you and what you caught, whether that be something really good or whether that be something whether you suck. The only information you got is your catches. When you watch fishing tournament results, it really reveals a lot of truth about the thoughts that you have around whatever technique. It could be spawning, it could be fall fishing, it could be summer fishing, it could be fall turnover. If you'll watch tournament results, the reason I bring that up is because here on my home lake, the NPFL just had a tournament here on Lake Hartwell, fall turnover. And so when I was younger, I used to always say, oh yeah, fall turnover, now's the time for you to be fishing deep, or now's the time for you to be fishing the brush piles, or now's the time for you to be fishing this end of the lake or that end of the lake. Matter of fact, even when I was younger and the lake would start turning over, a lot of times I would try to get away from that turnover water. I would try to go away from it. So I would go further up the river. A lot of times you'd have less turnover the further you went up to the river. So if you study this tournament from the NPFL on Lake Hartwell just this past week, during the lake turnover, there's something that happened that's very obvious. There were people that caught fish shallow, deep, main lake, creeks, pockets, all the things. Now, when I was a kid, we always said, get away from that turnover. Keep going up the river. Keep going up the river. All that was fake. All that was stuff that we read and just took it for truth without actually putting it to the fire. And so I'm in a position where as a fishing teacher, meaning the Straight Up Fishing app, where you know that's a it's not free content, it's not free teaching. So I really have to be, I really, if I say something, I have to make sure that it's credible. And so when people ask about the turnover, I have to be honest with them and not try to make myself sound smart or like I know more about the fishing. When I really dig into it, it doesn't matter. When I really dig into fall turnover, it doesn't matter, because I look at these tournament results and you'll see data points from 100 anglers that, nope, during fall fishing turnover, during fall turnover, you can catch fish on the bank. During fall turnover, you can catch fish in the back of the creeks, on the main lake. This is an undisputed fact. And I think it's something that you should consider when you're thinking about fall fishing, is be careful about accepting all of these establishment rules of fishing about what to do during the fall turnover and what to do when the water's cooling, and are they going shallow or are they going deep. Listen, on every body of water, there's a group of fish that you can catch all the time shallow. There's always a group that you can catch shallow. On any given body of water, there's always a group of fish that you can catch deep. Always. It never fails. On Lake Hartwell, them fish been on them brush piles in 20 to 40 foot of water. They don't ever leave the brush piles. They're always on those brush piles. They're on them now. They'll be on them in December. They'll be on them in February. They'll be on them in March when they're spawning. There'll still be fish on them. On Lake Hartwell, there's going to be a group of fish that you can catch around the bank. Now, I would have said, especially right now, I would have said that's probably the hardest place to catch fish is on the bank right now. But I mean, quite a few guys last week in the NPFL tournament caught their fish on the banks, just going down the bank, throwing a whopper plop or a buzz bait. I would have said that was the toughest way to catch them, or maybe you couldn't catch fish like doing that. It's just not that many fish that live on the bank. Why is it that you can always catch fish deep, and why is it that you can always catch fish shallow? And this goes for any given body of water, because I know it's happening. As you're listening to this, you're probably thinking, well, where I live, they all do this. Oh, no, Brian, you just don't know. Where I live, you gotta be doing this. I don't care if it's Gunnersville, I don't care if it's Lake Erie. Watch those tournament results, and you always see people doing several different things and patterns, lures, and techniques during every given tournament. That's why you really need to watch tournament results. James Linder was in the app, and he did a live class with me here recently, and he framed this and talked about it in the most easy to understand way than anybody that I've ever had on the app. Bass are basically opportunistic feeders. They'll feed on any forage, anything in the ecosystem that is easiest and most available for the given time. And so when we refer to these fish as moving or transitioning or going to a fall bite or the fall turnover deal, what's really happening is not that, at least especially in the south, and this goes for even up north, the fish aren't really transitioning to any area because it's getting cold or the days are getting shorter. They're really just following food, and whatever the easiest, most available food source in any given lake is what they're going to be going after. So regardless if the lake is turning over or not, all the fish really want is food. If you find food, you'll find fish. I don't care what lake, what kind of lake. I don't care if it's a river. I don't care if it's a reservoir. I don't care if it's a Great Lake or a natural lake. They're gonna be looking for the most prolific, easiest to catch, easiest to eat food source on that given body of water. And so when you, in the grand scheme of things, what I've learned is the turnover is not even worth my energy. Yes, it's happening. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. I'm just saying it's not even worth acknowledging that the fall turnover is happening. Just where is the food? And if I follow the food on any given body of water, that's probably going to put me in the right direction of the fish. But worrying about the fall turnover and what it's doing to the fish is really kind of a waste of energy and time. And if you really want to get at fishing, I think you really want to get good at fishing. I think the best thing for you to do is to spend your time and energy on things that actually matter. And things that actually matter, I shouldn't say that fall fishing or the turnover doesn't matter, but it would have to be way, way down on the priority list. Fall fishing can be a little bit more tricky than some of the other fishing that you'll do the rest of the year. If you got any questions about that, join the Straight Up Fishing app. We have conversations like this all the time to help you catch more fish.